We've seen ramps in PCs that collect the air from the bottom part and actually push it towards the GPU. But in this case, we have two ramps, one at the bottom and one at the side. This is Cougar's MX600 MAX RGB, which comes with, listen to this, two 200mm fans pre-installed on the front. We're talking about JGR200, and we have the same model here, but 120. Sadly, at the back you can't place 140, but regardless of that, you still have loads of airflow. Now, this case is packed with 5 dust filters, and when you take a look at the tempered glass and the bottom part, which is somewhat steel panel, it's blended together, which means that when you remove the tempered glass, the panel goes as well. And since it's removed currently, you can see that that mesh part isn't a gimmick. It actually has an opening here as well, so you're basically getting airflow from this side over here if you decide to place two 120. So let's break it down. We're having dust filters on top, front, side, this side as well, and the whole bottom part of the power supply shroud. Additionally, you can place two 120 here on the power supply shroud, three 120 at the top, or two 140. And when I was recording and checking out the backside, doing the cable management and stuff, I saw some rails behind this side ramp, but I think it's not possible to place fans on the side. Honestly, with two 200mm fans on the front, you actually don't need additional intake. So going even further, you have these openings right here to get the access for the screws for the expansion slots to place the GPU in the case, and the top can accommodate a 360 radiator at maximum. But then again, that's all you need, a 360 radiator at the top, because you're already packed with fans. The airflow is quite nicely directed towards the GPU, because when you take a closer look at the airflow, the bottom fan is directly pushing the air towards the GPU, and then the top fan is pushing everything here towards the AAO and exhausting it at the back. Of course, there is additional air being pushed out here on the side, which is a bit strange because you don't get that. But to be honest, since the airflow is going through this side, it's being pushed here on the power supply shroud inside the power supply, even though the power supply fan is located at the bottom, and then somehow the air is spread out through here. So in that case scenario, since we don't have a two 120 here on the power supply shroud, it's not collecting air from the side and pushing it towards the GPU. Otherwise, it would be like that. So if you don't have fans, the air also pushes here. But if you do have fans, the air is collected from the sides directly towards the GPU. Now, if you go with those two fans, you still have enough clearance to connect all the PWM, addressable RGB headers, and even push GPU cable without any problem. So that's really cool. Now, going at the back, this is something quite interesting. You can go with two 2.5-inch SSDs and two 3.5-inch hard drives, or you can just simply go with all SSDs and just install four 2.5-inch SSDs. The motherboard supports back connects, so we're talking about 3.5 to 4 centimeters of clearance at the back, and this is where they lost basically those 2 centimeters for the 140 as an exhaust, because you have loads of space at the back for cable management. You have Velcro ties on the side, Velcro straps. We have 3 of those to actually organize the 24-pin, and the 8-pin EPS cables go on the side, with also additional Velcro straps that are held by a screw, which is quite interesting because they don't slip away when you're trying to tie them up properly and just to give that fixture. In other words, the back side is really spacious and you have loads of space to reorganize the cables, and they even have enough space to place all those storage without having an issue with, I don't know, PWM or addressable RGB cables, or eventually any other cable, including 24-pin and 8-pin EPS. The clearance for the storage is outstanding, so you can place literally whatever you want. Now, for the front fans, we're having dimensions 200 to 130 millimeters. Fan speed goes from 300 to 1000 plus minus 10%, with the airflow 140.4 CFM. Air pressure is 1.5 millimeters HO, with maximum noise level at 31 decibels. The front I/O panel is modular, which means that you can replace it from the front bottom part to the front top part, giving you well, basically to reorganize it as you wish and as you like. I mean, someone prefers having it at the bottom part of the chassis, and some of you guys preferred having it on the top. It depends. Is the case located on the floor, or is it located on the table like I have, or anybody else that has on the table? Speaking of that, we're having power on button, we're having RGB button, which can't be moved to the reset button because the front panel jack is in a one single connector instead of, all those multiple jacks that need to be connected. Then we're having one USB 3.2 generation 2 times 2 type C, 20 gigabits per second, and two USB 3.0 type A, and 4-pole headphone and microphone jack. The top panel can be removed. You have to remove these two screws on each side, so basically 4 screws and 1 screw here at the back to get much more cleaner access to the AIO, to the ports and everything all together. Even though when you place the 360 radiator at the top, you have loads of clearance here. At the back we have something also outstanding, because I'm actually really preferring these simple gadgets or controllers or hubs, whatever you want to call them. So we're having one that is located at the back top side, which means that the two front fans and the one rear one are directly connected to the controller at the back hub that needs to be connected to SATA power directly to your power supply, and one PWM header going to the motherboard and one addressable RGB also going towards your motherboard. This way you can connect everything to the hub controller and control everything with the button on front, giving you well, basically easy control. In that sense, what this means that you have two options of connecting it. You can either control it via motherboard software or with that button. So if you don't have addressable RGB header on your motherboard, you can get addressable RGB lights through that button and through that controller. Quite easy and quite simple. That's outstanding, because then again, you only need the PWM header, and addressable RGB header can just dangle around wherever you wish. For the compatibility, we're going with maximum GPU length at 400 millimeters, maximum CPU cooler height is 170, and maximum PSU length is 200 millimeters. Taking everything into consideration, apart from the benchmarks, which we'll get quite soon because it's quite interesting. Quite simple design by Cougar. We're having two studs at the top with the Cougar logo at the top. The front panel, the side panel, and the top panel. Well, basically the top panel has the magnetic dust filter, but the side, top, and power supply shroud top have the same square design, which basically resembles to their past designs, and I think that's quite solid. I would say minimalistic, nothing into aggressive design, which is okay, and I know some of you guys really actually prefer this type of design. But the ramps do help in the performance, especially with the two 200mm fans, and we'll get to that part right now, because in AIDA 64 Extreme Edition, AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D cooled down with Cougar Poseidon Ultra ARGB 360, CPU goes up to 80 degrees, which is, with this AIO, better than when I tested it last time. So it goes up to top 4 position. Clock speed is 4800, which is mid, average. And the GPU goes up to 65 degrees. Honestly, I did expect lower thermals, at least 63, 64, but 65 for this GPU is outstanding. Still goes, it doesn't go above 70, and this GPU does run quite nicely at 64 to 65. Then we go to Cinebench, so we have 10 runs on average. Thermals for that part is 75.8, which is 10 degrees lower with this case than in the other case that I tested, the Cougar Poseidon Ultra. So that's quite nice shock and surprise. And then we go with the clock speed, which is 4995. That's 10th position, but 50 hertz higher than in the past scenario. And the score is 26,516, which is again by 60 points better than in the past scenario. So you're getting lower thermals, you're getting higher clock speed, not that drastical improvements in the Cinebench scores or in scores in general. But in AIDA 64, the GPU is quite nicely stable and the CPU goes around that 80-ish. So I think all in all, when you take into consideration, when you check out again the airflow going from the front, spreading inside the case quite nicely how it should be done, it is really functional with these ramps to get some sort of a directional airflow, because no air is lost in the power supply shroud, no air is lost here on the side, exhausting on the side part near the motherboard or just going everywhere. But in that sense, it's nicely done and calculated in that sense. I'm actually really digging this airflow thing and the two ramp configuration, even though I saw some guys on the internet doing some 3D parts, just printing and doing some crazy ramps, tunnels, and stuff like that to get more directional airflow. But when we're talking about manufacturing it in mass production, because let's be honest, that's how it goes. This is also quite outstanding. So the Cougar MX600 MAX is definitely an approved badge for me because of the airflow and how the fans actually work. And one more thing I totally forgot. It has an anti-sag bracket that has a thumb screw right here that can be adjusted. The only downside of it is that it's sticking a bit too much. So in this scenario with this GPU, it's actually hitting the fan directly. So yeah, it depends on the length of the GPU, it depends on the position of the fan, and maybe you could manage something else, place a specifically designed plate on it so it kind of avoids the fan, which is still possible if you do some do-it-yourself stuff. It could be done quite nicely. So yeah, all in all, Cougar MX600 MAX RGB. The link is in the description, and if you want to pair it up with their AIO Cougar Poseidon Ultra RGB 360 to match the black and the orange, fits quite nicely. Thank you for watching today's video, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell. I'll see you in the next one next week. Thank you. Bye bye.